What if the person who hurt you cried after doing it? What if the bad guy actually had a soft heart? What if they didn't hurt you because they hated you, but because they didn't know how else to feel okay inside? This is not a story about monsters. It's about real people. People who hurt others emotionally. Not because they enjoy pain, but because in a strange way, it helps them feel something. It gives them control, safety, power, a way to manage the chaos they carry inside. This person is called an emotional sadist. But they are not as simple as the word sounds. They can cry, they can feel sorry, they may love deeply, they may say I'm sorry and truly mean it, but still hurt you again. They aren't robots or villains. They are human, sometimes painfully so. Let's explore who they really are, how they become this way, and why they are one of the most complex and heartbreaking types of people in the world. We'll start off with how emotional sadists are made. Because people are not born emotional sadists, they become one, and it usually starts in childhood. Imagine a child who grows up in a home where love is not safe, a place where hugs come with conditions, where kindness is a trick, where showing emotions leads to shame, punishment or rejection. This child learns slowly but surely that emotions are dangerous. So what do? They adapt. They hide their feelings. They stop trusting. Over time, they learn that if they can control other people's emotions, they can stay safe. They start using feelings, sadness, guilt, affection, not to connect, but to gain power. And just like that, the emotional sadist is born. They didn't choose this. They didn't plan it. It was survival. But what helped them survive as a child now hurts the people around them as an adult. And they do feel sometimes too much. You might think emotional sadists feel nothing, that they're cold, empty or heartless. That's wrong. In fact, they often feel too much, but they don't know how to deal with it. When they make someone cry, it gives them a sense of control. When someone is emotionally hurt by them, it makes them feel stronger, more in charge. But then later, when they are alone, they might cry, they might feel horrible, they might even apologize and promise to do better. Sometimes they really mean it, but the pattern repeats because the hurtful behavior isn't just a choice, it's a habit, a survival tool they've used for so long they don't know how to stop. They feel guilt, but they also feel trapped. They know what they are doing is wrong, but part of them believes they have to do it to feel safe. And they come up with reasons. They pushed me to it. I didn't mean it like that. They're too sensitive. These excuses help them live with themselves. It's not because they want to lie. It's because the truth is too painful to face. And they use empathy as a weapon. Many emotional sadists are very good at reading people's emotions. They know exactly what someone is feeling. They can sense when you're insecure, when you are sad, and when you are afraid. And they often use that knowledge to get under your skin. It's like having a superpower but using it for control, not for connection. They can say the exact thing to make you doubt yourself. They can disappear at just the right moment to make you anxious, then show up again to make you feel grateful. They didn't learn this in a book. They learned it by surviving in difficult homes. When you grow up in a place where you have to read people's moods to stay safe, you get very good at it. But instead of using empathy to help others, they use it to protect themselves and sometimes to hurt others before they can be hurt. Still, that deep empathy is there, buried under fear, shame and pain. Sometimes when they let their guard down, it comes out. They cry, they break down. They know they are causing pain, but they don't know how to stop. Part of this also may be genetic. Some people are born more sensitive, more emotional, more reactive. If a child like that grows up in a safe, loving home, they may become a deeply kind and caring adult. But if that same child grows up in chaos, the sensitivity can turn inward and then outward. It turns into anxiety, anger, emotional manipulation. So yes, genetics matter, but environment decides how that sensitivity grows. It's like fire. Fire can warm a home or it can burn one down. It depends on how it's handled. So why do they seem so normal? Many emotional sadists seem completely normal, even charming, funny, successful. They can be loving partners, kind friends, respected leaders. They know how to act good. They've been performing their whole lives. They can love, and they do, but their love comes with fear. Fear of abandonment, fear of being hurt, fear of being vulnerable. So to stay in control, they sometimes hurt the people they love. They don't do it because they don't care. They do it because they care too much, and it terrifies them. They believe deep down that if they don't stay in control, they will lose everything. So they control with emotion. And when things get serious, when they feel like someone is too close or might leave, they lash out. And can they change? Yes, but it's hard. It's very difficult. To truly change, they must face their own past, their own demons. And they must admit that they were hurt, that they are still hurting, that they became someone they never wanted to be. That takes courage, it takes therapy, it takes time, and most of all, it takes honesty, real honesty. No more excuses, no more blaming, just sitting with the truth, no matter how painful it is. Some do it, and when they do, they can become beautiful, loving people, more real than ever before. But it hurts a lot, because it means facing the child they were and the damage they've done. So why should we care? Because emotional sadists are not rare. They live among us, and sometimes we see parts of them in ourselves. Understanding them does not mean forgiving cruelty, but it helps us see the bigger picture. And if we understand them, we can protect ourselves, help others, and maybe even stop ourselves from becoming like them. Because every emotional sadist was once a child who was hurt, a child who wanted love, a child who didn't know how to ask for it. And sometimes that child is still in there, crying, alone, behind a mask of power.